Coming up tonight in news.
Centreville constituents react to the Prime Minister's absence following Hurricane Matthew. That story straight ahead.
The newlyweds who came under attack on social media over the weekend in a same-sex marriage scandal speaks out. We have the details straight ahead.
Dr. Dwayne Sands weighs in on the hurricane relief budget. That story is coming up straight ahead.
Plus, the Progressive Liberal Party's chairman on a possible PLP convention delay. Welcome to Our News. I'm Dana Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, residents of the Centreville constituency are reacting to the noticeable absence of their Member of Parliament, Prime Minister Perry Christie. The Prime Minister has admitted to not visiting the area nearly 3 weeks after Hurricane Matthew ravaged parts of the Bahamas. Our Jasmine Brown has some of the residents' reactions in this report.
The reactions from those residents were strong but mixed, as some supported Christie while others did not.
I think he did a poor job. He did a very lousy job, and when it comes down to the people in Centreville especially, and we've been behind him more than 210%. And his reputation for Centreville is lousy as far as I'm concerned.
Are you disappointed in the Prime Minister?
Very disappointed. I vote for him 6 times. Never vote for nobody else.
Jeffrey Storr was one of those who is dissatisfied with Christie's absence, saying by now he should have checked on those who voted him in. In the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Christie, who has visited Marshall Road, Andros, and Grand Bahama several times since the storm, explained that he thought it best to visit families in the most devastated areas. But that explanation is not sitting well with his own constituents, Craig Leisha Nottage and Michelle Nixon.
He feels like he's supposed to then be in here because the Centreville constituency and then everybody looking forward for him to come. And we heard that he's been on the island to make sure they straight, but he ain't come this way yet. Right here, but he usually is come round, but we ain't know what happened.
Actually, my father, King Nixon, walked Perry Christie through this constituency and introduced him to everybody. And I can say that I'm not, oh God, I am hurt, I'm crushed. I am very hurt.
As for whether Christie will get their vote during the next general election,
hell to the no. You will not get my vote. I don't care if you was to bring me diamonds and gold, and I love them. No.
And while some were outraged by Christie's absence, others said they understood.
Yeah, well, I understand he going different places, but at least let the other MPs check their constituency. He can touch base with them, but check his.
What the Prime Minister is doing is his best. And we have to give him credit for that, It might not move in the pace that we want it to be done, because, we want things to do like this. So I think he's doing a good job. Let him finish what he's doing, and at the end, then we'll see what the outcome is.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis is blasting Prime Minister Perry Christie for failing to visit his own constituents weeks after Hurricane Matthew impacted the Bahamas. Minnis says it seems like Christie is simply not concerned for the people who cared enough to vote him in.
What message is he sending to Centreville? He's taking them for granted that, hey, I don't need to do anything for you because I know you will put me back in. But I send a message to Centreville that we want to do better for them. We want to improve their life. The Prime Minister have had you living with outdoor toilets for far too long. We want to ensure that you are a duty-free, tax-free zone.
The opposition leader insists it is the Prime Minister's duty to check in on his constituency.
Just as I am leader of opposition and I have responsibility to the entire Bahamas, I visited all the islands, but at the same time, I ensured that Kalani is cared for. I checked out what were the problems there, and I was aware and did what I can, because Kalani will vote me in. I hope Centreville got the message that the Prime Minister has ignored you.
Minnis says he hopes those Centreville residents have gotten the message and will do the right thing by not supporting Christie during next year's general election. Well, in other news tonight, as opposed to enjoying their first days as a married couple, a man and a woman are today defending their marriage. Over the weekend, pictures of the wedding were branded as a lesbian union, with Deputy Registrar General Ron Pinder officiating. In a press conference this afternoon, Pinder and the couple said the rumors couldn't be further from the truth. Simone Davis reports.
When Alfred and Rakia Pratt got married this past weekend, they were excited and planning their new life together like most married couples. However, an occasion of joy was nearly ruined when many labeled the couple lesbians. An uproar on social media followed. Deputy Registrar General Ron Pinder today called a press conference to put those rumors to rest.
The couple is Mr. Alfred Arlington Pratt and Mistress now Rakia Pratt. It was a marriage ceremony of a male and a female, a man and a woman, consummated or consecrated in holy matrimony.
Alfred and Rakia Pratt say they are outraged because instead of enjoying their honeymoon, they are defending their marriage.
My name is Alfred Arlington Pratt. I was born a male. As you can see, I'm just fat. I would like to thank the fat dog girl who take the picture, because she need to go look for a job. Reason why I say it is this: she could go and work for any photographer company, because that's a damn good picture she take us.
His wife, Rakia Pratt, who is legally blind, says the couple expected backlash after they got married because people mistake her husband for a woman almost every day.
We expected it, and we talked about it before we agreed to continue on planning our wedding. And it's nothing new to us because we're faced with it every day. And he constantly has to pull out his ID and show people, and they're like, wow. So it's nothing new to us, and we were just shocked on how fast it spread.
She said it is sad that Bahamians would be so quick to create a scandal at anyone's expense. Pinder, who officiated the wedding, was also a victim of a social media attack after many questioned his sexuality. Pinder vigorously defended himself.
Nothing can be further from the truth. I am not a homosexual. I have never been a homosexual. I'm not gay. I am not a sissy. I'm not a punk. I am a man. And I perform this wedding as a marriage officer of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and it is a legitimate marriage between a man and a woman.
Apostle Felix Roll of New Birth Ministries International clarified that same-sex marriage is not recognized in the Bahamas, adding that the recent gender equality referendum is a clear indication of that. The newlyweds pleaded to the public for privacy, respect, and a chance to enjoy their marriage. Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news tonight, the proposed $600 million figure needed to complete repairs following Hurricanes Matthew and Joaquin seems to have fallen from the sky, according to FNM Senator Dr. Dwayne Sands. Giorgio Sturp had a chat with him this afternoon.
Free National Movement Senator Dr. Dwayne Sands agrees that there needs to be someone independent of the Progressive Liberal Party to look after those hurricane relief funds. And Sands says he suggests that it's someone from the Free National Movement or the Democratic National Alliance.
Dr. Dwayne Sands questions where the funds from VAT and Carnival have gone, stating that if the PLB government were more accountable for public funds, then there would be no need to borrow additional funds for hurricane relief.
This government, even though they get offended when people ask questions, have a lousy track record. And so perhaps what the Right Honorable Prime Minister ought to do is to identify independent individuals who have pristine track records, preferably somebody from the other side of the political divide.
According to Sands, the amount of money needed seems to change every day, and he wonders if $6 million will be the final figure.
The insurance people, they suggested that they had an exposure of $400 million or so. And so Is the Prime Minister including that $400 million of insured losses? So is the loss then $1 billion?
Sands called on Prime Minister Perry Christie to answer questions on the sale of the multi-million-dollar Bahama resort and the whereabouts of the stamp tax and VAT figures from that alleged sale. Sands says that would go a long way in helping to decrease the $150 million loan needed for hurricane relief.
If indeed the government of the Bahamas has sold Bahama, I would expect that the public treasury should get a windfall on the order of 7.5% of $2.5 billion. Unless, of course, the head of agreement stipulates otherwise, that the people of the Bahamas are not entitled to either stamp tax or VAT. Then according to my calculations, the people of the Bahamas ought to see $187,500,000 in the public treasury.
Reporting for our news, I'm Georgia Stirrup.
When Our News comes back, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts says the party's convention should go on as planned. Over on Grand Bahama, students are returning to school. And a little later, we've got more from the Culinary Olympics in Germany, so stay with us.